Hey guys, Joe here today with another setup guide, and today we're going to be tackling setting up our Elite recorder to our computer using the application Smart PSS. Now, in order for this setup to work, keep in mind you have to have had port forwarding already set up or P2P for your Elite recorder, so if you haven't done that yet, you can find one of the links to those guides in the description at the bottom of the page. Now, before we get started, we're going to want to make sure we have everything we need to get this done today, so why don't we go ahead and take a look at our introductory setup checklist.
First, make sure the recorder is powered on and you can see your cameras on the local display.
For P2P setups, you're going to need the TCP port and the serial number of the recorder. For the TCP port, you can use the recorder and navigate to the port submenu found under Network under the main menu. Write down the TCP port from this page. You'll also need to have the serial number. You can access the P2P menu, which is also found under the Network menu under the main menu, and either write down the serial number under the SNQR code or leave the recorder on this screen. For port forwarding setups, you will need your recorder's local IP, WAN IP, and the TCP port of the unit. Your WAN IP can be found by visiting www.canyouseeme.org from any computer connected to the same network as the recorder. To get the local IP address of the recorder, log into the recorder's main menu, and then navigate to the TCP IP menu found under the Network menu. Find the IP listed here and make sure to use the IP from LAN port 1 if you have more than one. Once copied, then proceed to acquire the TCP port. For the TCP port, you can use the recorder and navigate to the port submenu, also found under the Network menu under Main menu. Write down the WAN IP from canyouseeme.org, the TCP port from the port page, and the local IP address from the TCP IP page. Additionally, you're going to need to download and extract the Smart PSS program. This software is available on our website, securitycameraking.com, underneath the Downloads page. For either case, P2P or port forwarding, know that you will need your actual username and password, and that the pattern that you might normally use to log in locally will not work in Smart PSS. Alright, let's get started. The first thing we need to do is open up the app. When the app first loads, you'll be greeted by a password selection screen. Smart PSS is requesting that you set up a password for this instance of the application. This password does not have to be the same password as your recorder. It's an entirely new password you're creating now. When you're finished, click Next. On the next screen, you're going to be asked to set up 3 security questions. You'll also be asked to create answers for those questions. When you're done filling out that information, click Finish. The next screen is going to feature just some splash info that we can skip out of by clicking the X. Okay, so by default, Smart PSS should have put us on the device page. We're now going to be adding in the recorder one of a couple of ways, depending on if it was set up via P2P or port forwarding. First, we're going to do the P2P connection. If your recorder is set up for port forwarding, feel free to skip ahead to the time you see in the description or watch right along with us. Okay. For P2P, we need to go ahead and select Add right here. First, where it says Device Name, we can click there in that field, and we can name the recorder entry anything we like. This doesn't have to be a name we've used anywhere else, it's only relevant to this computer running this copy of Smart PSS. Next, we'll move to the Method to Add field and click the drop-down box. Select the option SN for Device Support P2P, then click the blank field that appears under this option and type in the serial number of your device. You can leave the group name field as it is and proceed to click the next 2 fields to input the username and the password of your recorder. When done, click Add. You should now see an entry for the recorder appear in the device list. It may take a minute or two, but you'll see a gray circle here turn green and see the message turn to Online as well. Feel free to watch along with us through the port forwarding setup, or go ahead and skip to the time at the description at the bottom of the screen to see how we can set up the live view for these cameras. Awesome, now we're going to be doing port forwarding. A quick note regarding port forwarding though. Most networks will not allow a computer on the same network as the recorder to access that recorder using the WAN IP address. So with the port forwarding setups, we're going to be adding 2 different entries to Smart PSS. The first entry is going to be for viewing the recorder while you're on the same network as the recorder. And the second entry is for viewing the recorder when away or on a different network. Just like with P2P, go ahead and select Add right here. First, where it says Device Name, we can click there in that field and we can name the recorder anything we like. For this instance, we're putting home cams to indicate that this is the local entry. Again, you can name this anything, but this is a very good example. Then, in the blank field beneath IP domain, input the IP address locally of the recorder. In the port field, input the TCP port of the recorder. For username, if it's not the default admin, change it to the recorder's username and put the password for your recorder as well. Go ahead and click Add. You should see a list entry then populate for that recorder. If you're on the local network, this listing should then go online after a short moment. And now we'll add the away entry. Go ahead and click Add right here just like before. We are now going to enter in the info again, only with two main differences. This time we will be naming the device away cams to indicate that this is how we will see the cameras when we are off of the local network. And we're going to be putting in the WAN IP address rather than the recorder's local IP address. Other than that, the port, username, and password are the same as before. When done inputting this information, click Add. Now, depending on your current network setup, once added, you may not see this entry come online. That's okay and normal. If you go to a different location with another network or Wi-Fi providing internet, you'll see the entries flip-flop, and away will come online while home will go offline. Now that you have your cameras added to Smart PSS, either by P2P or port forwarding, let's go ahead and quickly check out the live view. Let's click the plus sign right here, which will take us to the main control panel. From there, let's click Live View. You'll start out on a 4-camera grid. You can use one of the options at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, however, to choose a different number of cameras or select a custom grid. Next, simply need to click one of the options on the left, indicating one of the nameplates for your cameras. Be aware that if you use port forwarding, one of them might have a red X, that's normal. If you were to change locations, these would flip-flop. Once you double-click one of the nameplates, your cameras will populate in, and you've completely set up Smart PSS.
Excellent. So you guys have finished locking down Smart PSS on your computer today, and now you can see your Elite recorder anytime, anywhere. You're probably wondering what other kind of features that you can access through Smart PSS. Well, stay tuned because we're going to have a couple of new videos coming soon that's going to showcase some additional features of that program, including how to download and play back your footage anytime. Till next time, guys, have a great one and stay safe.